Today I'm thinking about maybe making some cookies or some muffins with yellow wood sorrel. It's a little herb that grows just about anywhere. It's good in really bad soils, and you can find it creeping up along the houses and stuff. And my neighborhood has a bunch of it out in front of people's yards and stuff, and I've talked to my neighbors before. You always should talk to your neighbors before you start pulling stuff out of the yards. But my neighbors know me as the crazy plant lady, so I like to go and collect some herbs. I'm gonna go and collect some yellow wood sorrel and see if I can make a nice tart treat. Don't mind my crispy garden. I was away for a little while and the heat got to it, but we're gonna come around here past my milkweed plants and my false sunflower. Behind my bucket garden here, there's a little bit of yellow wood sorrel hiding, so I'm gonna pick some of this and then go to my next spot. Show you guys real quick what it looks like up close. It's got these little heart-shaped kind of clover-like leaves, and then these cute little yellow flowers, which I don't think any of them are in bloom right now, so I can't show you what they fully look like. However, I can show you their little seed pods, these right here. Some of the old timers call them pickles. And the reason they call them pickles is because they are incredibly sour. The entire plant has a little tart taste to it, but those little seed pods there carry quite a kick. My little grasshopper friend hiding in all the wood sorrel. Apparently wanted a snack too. So I'm getting ready to pick some more yellow wood sorrel up by one of my neighbor's places. And I wanted to point out to you guys that sometimes you gotta really watch what you're getting, because this right here, right beside the yellow wood sorrel, is spurge. It's got the flat leaves with I don't know if you can see, like a little bit of red down the bottom of them. And it is it's not deadly, but it'll make you incredibly sick if you eat it. We want this fella here, this little pickles. Get off my bag, little buddy. I'm working here. Shoo, 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 shoo. Shoo. Adios. Time to lightly rinse our harvest. None of these plants were particularly dirty, but this gives a chance for anything that might have been hanging on for dear life to vamoose. So now that I got those rinsed, I'm going to gather up my ingredients for, I've decided I'm going to do muffins or cupcakes, however you look at it. They're going to be sweet, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do icing. I'm going to gather the ingredients for that, and then I'm going to separate some of the greenery, you know, that looks a little bit more pretty and stuff, and use it kind of more as a garnish, like to put on in the last moments of baking. And then the rest of it I'm going to blend up into a paste and put inside my muffins. So let me get all my stuff together and then we'll show you what we do. So a little note to self: if you decide to combine your water with your wood sorrel, do not put it in the food processor, or you will have a counter that smells lemony fresh and a little less ingredients. Also, if you use an immersion blender, realize that it's not going to get every little stem. Yes, you still want the stems because the entire plant has this wonderful taste to it. So in the end, after using the food processor and the immersion blender, I just had to get some plain old scissors out and help chop up the rest. So this is what we have. It doesn't look super appetizing, but it will when we're done. So here we have a package of yellow cake mix. We're going to put that in our bowl. And the instructions read that we need 1 1/4 cup of water, which I already got with the wood sorrel, and 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. I'm actually going to use olive oil because I feel like it's healthier and I feel like it cooks better, depending on how. Like, I wouldn't recommend it for cookies because you usually have to do like a higher temperature. It also calls for 3 eggs. I'm going to use 4 because I like my stuff to be a little cakey. So let's get all that mixed together. I have my large muffin tin filled with my mixture, and I'm going to put it on 350. And as soon as that gets heated up, which I should have preheated, but I don't like to preheat. I feel like it wastes a ton of energy. But as soon as that heats up, I'm going to put this in the oven. So it didn't catch it on video because my camera was turned around. But at 15 minutes, I pulled the muffins / cupcakes from the oven and added the garnish on top. And then also sprinkled a little bit of brown sugar to kind of melt and hold on to the garnish and also give it like a little sweet crunch. I just put it back in the oven and I'm going to cook it for about 10 minutes and then check on it. Also, Charlie says hello. Don't you, Charlie? She's my cooking buddy today. Okay, so now my muffins / cupcakes have cooled, and they were a little bit of a struggle to get out of the pan, but I did manage. So now I'm going to use this red icing here and do a little heart on each of my desserts here. Just because I think it would be cute. My husband's going to be home in about an hour, and I'm sure he's going to want to dig into these, but for science sake, you and I are going to try some right now. There we go. Ta-da! Alright. Now to give it a try. These are big muffins. Cupcakes, whatever. So it's going to be a big bite. Very lemony. You can't really tell the texture of any of the wood sorrel in there because it baked down nice and soft. And all in all, really good dessert. Thank you.